Hello and welcome to Note to File, a clinical research podcast.
A collection of interviews, candid commentary, and general nonsense for the clinical research community.
Check us out at notetofilepodcast.com.
And now, without further ado, on to the show.
All right, guys. Hey, welcome to another Note to File Live Sticky Notes 9/11 edition. How's it going, Denali?
Good. I feel like it's been a bit hectic this week, but it's been good. How about you?
Always hectic, in the site life. But all in all, good. Can't complain. Beautiful weather in Oklahoma this week. So
what's weather like in September in Oklahoma?
Just roll the dice. It can be, this is like a weird month, right? Where we either get that sort of second summer or it starts to cool down. So it's been cool. But it's back up to high 80s, I think, or a little bit today. But, I went to a women's college soccer game last night and right around 6 or 7, it was beautiful outside.
Perfect.
It felt amazing.
Yeah, we get that false fall and then second summer, and we're kind of slipping into that second summer. So we're up in the 80s and stuff. But then at night, it's in the 50s. So not mad at it.
Yeah, not too shabby.
Not spending a lot of time in Wisconsin. I've been all over the place and will be all over the place, but that's conference season for this industry. So
very fancy, real fancy jet setter.
Yep, that's Orlando, Philly.
Viva keeps you guys on private jets, I assume.
Yeah, it's the one. We certainly don't fly economy.
There you go. All right, cool. Well, let's hop to it. We got a few things to go through. Let me see if I can do this without screwing it up.
Best of luck.
Yeah, it's never
it's
never a foregone conclusion, that's for sure. Hold on. See, I'm already screwed up. Okay. Hey, look, I did it. Okay, cool. First thing in the news here, this is just from yesterday.
Yeah, it hit yesterday.
Huge slash from Novo Nordisk. They cut 11.5% of staff, which is not insignificant.
I mean, how many people is that? What did it say? 9? How many jobs?
Yep, 9,000.
That's a lot. I mean, this is primarily based on some of the ebb and flow of the GLP-1 weight loss competitive landscape, right? Is that the basic underpinnings of this story?
Yeah, it seems to be the case. Sales growth has stalled and shares have slumped since the middle of last year. So yeah, I'm guessing the obesity market was misjudged.
Okay.
It's
what
much
do you mean?
more
They thought there were a lot more
consumer-driven.
fat people than there were?
Well, I don't think they underestimated that. It's much more consumer-driven than anticipated, and Novo expanded organizational complexity too quickly.
Okay, and so that's the thing I think is fascinating. I think you see this across all segments. I mean, I think our industry may be bad. I think you see this in tech too. But they see something and they jump at it and they think it's going to be this massive thing and they jump too quickly and expand much too quickly. And then you are in this position where you're constantly letting people go, which is not great just for the industry as a whole from a stability perspective. Yeah, it's great to have jumps in jobs, but if that's not consistent, that's going to disrupt a lot of things. You're moving people around, you're disrupting other employers this way, and people's lives. Doesn't seem like a great tactic.
What do they say? Put all of your eggs in one basket, right?
I think that's the general recommendation.
That's the saying? I think that's how the saying goes.
Also, you're supposed to count them before they hatch.
You should count them.
You should count them before they hatch. Yeah, and they should all be in one basket.
It's common. Yes, exactly. Count them. Put them in one basket and count them before they hatch. Yeah, no, I mean, interesting. What did it say here? It's the largest layoff in Denmark's history, which is interesting. But their shares are up 2%. So sorry, guys. That was just sorry, all 9,000 of you. They had to get that 2%, which seems like a drop in the bucket considering shares have fallen 46% since the beginning of the year. So I don't know
Damn.
if that was a great measure or not on their behalf, but what do I know? I'm no market analyst.
Well, then you wonder, like, I mean, there's a couple of players in this space too who are in this obesity weight loss market. Are we going to see this? Was this a isolated incident, or are we going to see this across other folks in this market space too? Or is this because they came to market and then didn't realize what the competitive landscape was going to be?
Yeah, it's unclear to me. And even this statement that, where did it go? That it's, a consumer driven market. Like, what does that mean? Does that mean consumers don't want it? Because
Yeah.
you would think they would, or I guess people don't want to use it as much as they, thought they might.
I
Or,
mean,
there was also the whole issue with like the compounding pharmacies, and I don't know if that
like
how that
shortages
played
and
in. Yeah.
well, and then isn't there like stuff that's coming out now that like people don't stay on a lot of these GLP-1s? Like they'll start them, they'll like there's a segment of folks who do and have great success with them, but there's like general like trends where folks will stay on it for like 6 months and then not want to be consistent with it because they're paying with it out of pocket, or they want to eat food and they just like it's not conducive with how they want to live their life, and so it's not as necessarily consistent, and so it's not like you start the prescription or the drug, if it's not however they're managing to get it, and then they take it into perpetuity. And if that's what they were banking some of their numbers on, maybe that threw it off too, if there just wasn't like the longevity of like maintenance on it. I don't know.
Well, and you hear people have side effects and have to come off and all kinds of different things. So who knows? I did see we had a Novo study that we got basically up to like contract sign and they just canceled it. And I don't know, may not be related in any way, but obviously dealing with losing damn near 12% of your workforce.
Does it say what types of
difficult.
Right? Does it say what types of positions they eliminated or not?
I don't know that I saw that.
Interesting.
But it does say the company will reinvest savings into its drug pipeline, and obesity launches a new market. So I guess that means maybe some of that money will come back and get reinvested into more research.
Back into R&D. I mean, and I think this is sort of an overarching, I mean, taking a step back to like, how is the general landscape going to impact how these pharma companies have to operate, right? Like if the fundings and the tariffs and different things are changing in the landscape, are we going to see more of this? Because ultimately, like, they are businesses, right? Like, understandably, they need to have some semblance of fiscal health. And are we going to see this across the board as folks are getting losses in some areas? They're going to try to cut up, to make it up in others. I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Keep an eye on and whether what that impact, positive or negative, is for the clinical research space. So,
well, best of luck for those 9,000 plus folks. Hope they land.
It sucks to just keep seeing all these crazy layoffs. I mean, I know, I get it, but man, that's rough. All right, let's jump here. And maybe this is, I think, one maybe you read up on a little bit more than me, but it looks like some reform to direct consumer pharmaceutical advertisements.
Yeah, so I was looking into this and it's interesting. Like, it had to do, I don't know, 97 was when this sort of happened, where they made sort of a loophole, adequate provisions loophole, in like what pharma has to disclose in advertising, which basically made it easier for them to not include particular full list of side effects, etc., in advertising. So like, and they're looking to now circle back and maybe remove that provision to remove it to the pre-1997, where they will have to have significantly more disclosure of some of this stuff in advertising.
Basically, for the last 30 years, you could kind of lie, right?
Lie by omission, I think, is what we call that.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. So what are they going to do? They're going to remove the loophole, aggressive enforcement of direct consumer violations. So we'll see. I thought I saw, and I probably should have done better research, but just a recent post in the last couple of days that they had sent out like 100 or letters to like 100 different companies about this, and essentially saying like you're not going to be in compliance, like you're doing bad. We're keeping an eye on you.
This ostensibly makes any sort of TV and radio media advertising of a specific pharmaceutical untenable because you would have like 5 minutes of just listing off side effects in perpetuity, or just like a massive scrolling screen. Like if you think about like all of the things that happen in a clinical trial, you have to disclose all of that, and you can't really do that in a media
Yeah,
setting,
no,
right?
that's gonna be interesting because I mean, yeah, to your point, closing this loophole almost makes like TV advertising almost impossible. It would seem. Said the loophole allowed companies to recite a vague major risk statement and then point viewers to our website, phone
Well,
number, or print
you've heard
insert.
that, like, may cause depression,
Yeah, but I
suicide, high
mean,
blood pressure, blah, 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 and other side effects. That's it.
if that is the way things are working with a loophole, then what's it going to look like without
Well,
a
that's what I'm
loophole?
saying. They won't be. Like, there's no way you're gonna have like I said, a 5-minute TV ad that's just someone rattling off a bunch of shit that came out of the clinical trials.
Yeah, it's going to have to. I mean, that seems like it could be insane. Here, I'm
So
going to
I
hit a
mean,
quick.
it won't. Right?
I don't know. I'll hit a quick comment. I think this is about the last topic here, but in terms of like why maybe the
the
Novo,
GLP-1s, yeah.
people are being a little more healthy holistically or supplemental health, along with insurance issues, which and some prescriptions being high, which I know has been an issue, for some. I don't know where that stands right now, but people paying out of pocket. You mentioned, I kind of touched on that. I could see that being, keeping people from wanting to do
That's why
that.
so many people wanted to do GLP-1 clinical trials because their insurance didn't cover it, but they could get it on a clinical trial.
Yeah. So Sarah, back on this, the FDA is going to send a letter to every single sponsor of an approved drug or biologic, warning them the agency is no longer asleep at the wheel. So, hey guys, we're watching you, putting them on notice that the FDA will be actively enforcing violations of the law and directing them to remove all non-compliant promotional materials.
So I'm just going to point this out. I think it's funny, and I don't know how I feel about it, but I do think it's funny. Like, this is an official letter from the HHS, right? And they used the phrase "asleep behind the wheel" in this. Like that, I'm all for using like layman's terms and vernaculars just to kind of.
I mean,
that's interesting.
It is good. It is interesting. So yeah, I'm curious to see what this will do to things like TV advertising. It also mentions AI generated health content, chatbot interactions, influencer partnerships, and sponsored content across all platforms, which, I mean, we've seen a lot of that. I know, there was like the big, who was it? Serena Williams or something for migraine. We've seen that. So I'd be curious, see if that stuff goes away, or they just find a better way to do it. Like,
well, like
these guys are pretty smart, right? They may find a way. They'll find a way to get their drugs
but
sold.
They're not asleep behind the wheel anymore, so watch out.
They're on notice.
I mean, it's interesting. I was trying to like think back to 1997 and like what pharmacy ads were at that point, like before this loophole was enacted. But then I also probably wasn't watching the type of content that would have pharmaceutical ads. It's more like Nerf guns and super soakers and shit probably at that time. So I don't know.
That's a good point. Hopefully they should have a list of risks in using Nerf guns. They should have to say that in an ad because you could put an eye out with it. Another comment on
Red Ryder gun.
Yeah, right. There's a comment on LinkedIn that for some reason is not carrying over into the StreamYard comments, but what would be the problem if those ads disappear? And honestly, nothing. I've never really thought they were a good idea or that we should be doing direct consumer advertising for drugs, but because we're one of like 2 countries that even allows it in the first place, if I recall correctly.
That sounds right.
So, you know what? I'll be all right if I don't have to watch these terribly uncreative, shitty ads about, psoriasis or whatever, where everyone's at a baseball game. Then, I'll be fine not seeing those on TV.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So we'll keep an eye. We'll see. You know what? I'm going to make sure they aren't asleep at the wheel. So we'll follow up on that.
I like this
some
one.
Other time.
Some reoccurring themes.
Cool.
What else we
All
got?
right, let's move on here and see. I thought this was interesting. I didn't get to read into it quite as much. I know this has been sort of a topic or something that ACRP and other industry organizations have been interested in, but sort of kind of helping validate the CRC and PI role, and probably clinical research as a whole. So ACRP put out a press release a couple of days ago, asking clinical research community to make sure that occupational data in the industry is being recorded by the Department of Labor. So it looks like a place to go, put in your info. I think it's
And was this
interesting here.
what is
Go ahead.
this for? Like for like all research professionals? Is it trying to say like a lump like clinical research professionals? Is it like coordinator versus PI versus like there's so many like
Yeah,
different
I
roles.
don't know enough yet. This would
About
be
it.
something I'd be interested to maybe have somebody on and talk about a little bit, because I do
Yeah.
think this is probably something that is making it's probably something that's not helping our industry. Is that it's sort of like, look, it's
Not
big, but I
recognized.
feel like it's not well recognized. And again, you've probably run into this all the time. Like people are like, what do you do? And like you try to explain and they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like it seems so obvious, but like nobody knows much about it. So, but the snippet here, I think, in 2024, ACRP requested the US Bureau of Labor Statistics establish a detailed occupation code for the role of clinical researcher under the 29-0000 Healthcare Practitioners and Technical Occupations Code for possible revision in 2028. So it looks like, again, ACRP pushing to like legitimize, like, hey, look, this is a real,
Yeah.
this is a real thing. This is a real career, and it deserves its own, code and to be tracked, independently from other occupations.
Right. Like I'm not just a healthcare provider. Like I
Yes, I don't
like
just work in
specific.
healthcare or life sciences necessarily, or however else you may be associated. So I think that's a really cool.
What's the impact of? I mean, like this is maybe I'm uneducated here, and I'll be the first to admit it. But like, what's the impact of like having this recognized officially? Like, is I don't. What would that be?
I don't know. I guess that you may be able to actually get some, metrics or some like standardization around, what that role is, or what at least broadly like that industry role might be. And then I don't know from there, frankly. At the very least, I assume it's going to give some more visibility to people.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think it's something I'd like to dive a little bit further into. I'm sure someone on ACRP would be happy to like come talk about it.
Well, if we have questions, we should contact Jessica Fairley.
All right, Jessica Fairley at the ONET Data Center.
There you
Reach
go.
out to you. I probably won't, but I'm going to say that we will. Lastly,
it looks like we have the ACRP. Hey, Paul, what's up? The ACRP initiative is to formally recognize all clinical research professionals, so across the board, CRCs, CRAs, PIs, data managers, etc.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think that's at least in my mind, that's amazing.
Yeah. I don't see any negative downside to this.
No, I mean, it gets a lot more complicated. I mean, the difference between a CRC and a
CRA and a PI
and a CTM is very different, but at least it's a start, right? And then you don't know what happens after that. I mean, maybe that's maybe I hate to use the word union, but maybe some things.
Whoa!
I don't want to be a crazy socialist communist or anything, but then maybe these groups could band together and do some things. But let's save that for a different podcast. Maybe. Lastly, we got a little tip from somebody who this group seems to be sort of spamming various, I don't know, posts.
Yeah, it's popped up on a couple of different things. I think that folks have tipped us off on.
Yeah. Pharma TNT. I don't know, the website is not like either. Maybe it didn't load correctly because it looks like shit. So if you're watching this and you're part of Pharma TNT, then fix your stupid website. Interesting. Break free from 9 to 5 slavery. Okay, I like that in general. For those who are in bondage, cannot innovate, hedge against layoffs, and secure a financial future. The best way to secure your financial future is clearly to give your money to somebody else. So this is really interesting. Now, are we sort of is the grifter, you know, course selling culture making its way into clinical research now, or has it always? I mean, you see in other industries there are these, especially like a lot of middle-aged dudes on LinkedIn or across others that are like, I've got classes to sell you. I've got courses to sell you. 10x your sales, or whatever the case may be. This feels a little in that
So I
area to me.
recently went down this rabbit hole, and it's going to be a throwback for folks, but if anyone watched The Pickup Artist back in the day, like this guy who like I don't even remember his name. I like literally just went down this rabbit hole with someone. But like Mystery, he's like this dude who like tries to teach guys to pick up other guys, and like had like a VH1 show or something like back in the day.
Did he happen to have a soul patch and
He
wear
did,
like
and like
a
yes, he looked like
not a fedora, but like a stupid hat of some kind?
yes, yeah, that guy from like the VH1 show.
Yeah, I vaguely
He's
remember
still
that.
doing it, and he's
Of
selling
course he is.
courses online, and it's like, do this, sell this course, and I'll teach you how to like pick up ladies, is this whole
Yeah, I
thing. And like
mean,
it's that vibe, right? It's like I'm gonna sell you a course on this thing, and like, or even oh, I'm gonna totally blank on it. Those people there's the documentaries. I'm totally blanking on it. There's like the Amazon Prime and the Netflix documentary about the couple who like sold these like soulmate courses.
oh, the twin
Twin
flames
flames, that's
people.
it. Same concept. So is this now
Yeah,
the clinical trials version of twin flames?
I mean, I hope so. If anyone out there has done this, I would love to hear more about it. Or if you're part of Pharma TNT,
I mean, to be honest, like
expose yourself.
there's some of the concepts here that I'm not necessarily opposed to. Like,
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't
right?
disagree. I mean, yeah.
Like of figuring out how to do your own thing, and like there's you see like all the Reddits we just talked about layoffs today, like being more of a and I think our industry has had a lot of
Yeah,
that recently. Like a lot of CROs having layoffs, and now Novo's having layoffs. Like that, it's a big thing. Like, so I get it. Like, how do you help protect yourself against that in an environment that's like that? Like, fundamentally, yeah, I'm not mad at the idea. I just am not sure.
Yeah, I know. Conceptually, being able to be independent as much as you can is good. Oliver,
Is this an
everyone
omission?
joins Oliver's course, then he'll teach us.
Perfect.
So Oliver, get with me on the side. We'll
You
develop.
just got to sell him about $1,000
develop a
and we'll be
course.
good.
I mean, how much is $1,000 when it comes to
Breaking free
financial
from slavery.
freedom from the 9 to 5? I do. Don't get me wrong. Again, I was a musician before all of this stuff, and I definitely held a lot of those sentiment of like, I don't want to work 9 to 5 wage slave type jobs. So again, some of it appeals to me in some ways. I don't know if I love their technique, vague technique of like, who the hell is this and why should I trust you? Because it's hard to take advice from people that are less successful than you, and that's there's no way to know if that's the case here or not. This is just some
It's too anonymous, It's,
yeah
to be like valid, and like also way too vague.
It's a little vague. It's a little bit vague.
So
that's okay. All right. I mean, that's really all I got. You got anything else you want to? Anything for good measure?
No, I think that pretty much covers it for this week. Next week we have another sticky notes on Thursday. Tuesday, we have found ourselves with an open note to file slot. So
Dun, dun, dun.
I know what I would love to do is that if there is just to do like welcome in some chaos and just do like a legitimate round robin to say anyone want to come on, pop on, say hi. cycle folks in and out. Like no guarantee you're going to talk, no guarantee how long you'll talk. Maybe it will be for a lot, maybe it'll be not at all. But anyone who wants to jump on and like just shoot the shit, share something that's on their mind. I don't know. What are you game for that?
I'm down for it. Sounds like it'll be a note to file round robin format. So
yeah.
Cool. So if you're interested in that, definitely reach out to Denali, not me, because I will forget. No, I'm just kidding.
We know
you can reach out to me.
And then he'll send it to me. Good.
Yeah, exactly. We'll immediately hit forward on that. So
but yeah, read out to one of us. And again, it's like all we'd really need is your email address. So shoot me a DM with your email address.
We got one already.
Sweet.
Caitlin, just put us on a like do a group LinkedIn message and send us your email.
Yeah.
I'll put like an invitation with the StreamYard link and we'll go from there.
Yeah. So yeah, send an email and we'll get you the StreamYard link for next week. It'll be Tuesday. For anyone who's listening, who's interested, Tuesday, I don't know what's the date.
Noon Central.
What's the date of Tuesday? Tuesday, the 16th at noon Central. So if you're interested, shoot us a joint message on LinkedIn with your email and we'll get you queued up.
Beautiful. Okay. I think that's it. We'll see you guys next week. Later. Thanks for listening to Note to File. We're committed to continuing to bring you independent and unfiltered coverage of the clinical trial industry.
We want to talk about what you want to hear. So if you have something on your mind, hit us up at notetofilepodcast.com.